we reveal the real value of old coins and their history on the ultimate channel for collectors, Numis Nerd.
The 1924 D Lincoln wheat cent is one of those coins that quietly hides incredible value for those who know what to look for. Some examples of this coin in top condition have sold for $36,000, $58,000, and even close to $90,000 at major auctions. Just imagine finding an old penny from the 1920s that could be worth more than a brand new car. Before we dive into the story behind this remarkable coin, support our effort, subscribe, like, and share so we can keep bringing you more amazing coin videos and help you uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. Now let's go back to 1924, a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of wheat cents across several locations, but the Denver Mint, marked with the small d under the date, struck one of the most challenging issues for collectors today. The 1924 D penny had a mintage of just 2,500 and 20,000 coins, a relatively low number for Lincoln cents. That might sound like a lot, but back then, most pennies went straight into circulation and stayed there for decades, wearing down heavily before anyone thought about saving them. Because of this, high-grade 1924 D cents are extremely rare. In fact, most examples found today are brown, heavily circulated, and worn down to a shadow of their original design. Finding one in sharp red, mint state condition is like winning the coin-collecting lottery. Only a small handful of these coins have survived with their full red luster intact. And those are the pieces that fetch the massive 5-figure auction prices. The design itself, of course, features Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears reverse. But what really makes the 1924 D stand out is its poor strike quality. Denver's coin presses at that time were not well calibrated, and many of these coins show weak details on Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat. This makes sharp examples, with strong detail and original color, even more desirable and valuable. In average circulated condition, a mid-1924 D penny might bring $20 to $50. Step it up to fine or very fine condition, and it can easily reach $100 to $300, but the real money starts when you hit uncirculated grades. An MS63 brown example might sell for $1,500 to $2,000, while red-brown pieces can bring $4,000 to $6,000, fully red, blazing examples, the kind that look like they were just struck yesterday, are almost unheard of and have sold for over $80,000 in auctions by Heritage and Stack's Bowers. Another factor that drives the 1924 D's value is how easily it can be confused with the 1924 Philadelphia cent, which has no mint mark and is much more common. So when checking your collection or pocket change, make sure to look under the date. If you see that small D, you might be holding something special. But be careful. Due to its high value, counterfeiters often take regular 1924 cents and add a fake D mint mark. Genuine examples have a very specific mint mark shape and placement, which grading services like PCGS and NGC can verify. Collectors also love the 1924 D because it sits right in the middle of what's known as the tough 1920s Denver series. The Denver mint cents from the early to mid-1920s, like 1922, 1923 D, and 1924 D, are all notoriously difficult to find in top grades. During those years, the mint faced production challenges, worn dies and lower quality planches, which resulted in weak strikes and fewer coins being saved in mint condition. When you look at a genuine 1924 D under good light, you'll notice that the color tone varies from chocolate brown to reddish brown, or in rare cases, bright red. The sharpness of the wheat ears and the clarity of Lincoln's coat lines are key grading points. Even a tiny bit of wear can drop the coin's value dramatically, so collectors chase after the sharpest, cleanest examples they can find. The 1924 D penny also carries a deep historical resonance. Think about it. This coin circulated during the Roaring '20s, when the U.S. was booming economically just before the Great Depression. Every penny from that time holds a story, a of people buying newspapers, candy, or even saving change during a time when 1 cent had real value. Today, the 1924D remains one of the hardest to find Lincoln cents in high grade. It's not flashy, like the 1955 doubled die or as famous as the 1909 SVDB, but serious collectors know its importance. It's the kind of coin that completes a collection, the missing piece that transforms an ordinary set into something extraordinary. So, if you ever come across an old wheat penny with the 1924 date and a small D underneath, take a closer look. It might be worth much more than you think. Even a slightly worn one can fetch a nice premium, and if you happen to find one with its original luster, you could be looking at a $50,000, $90,000 treasure hiding in plain sight. The 1924D Lincoln Wheat cent is a perfect example of how rarity, condition, and history come together to create true value. A tiny mint mark from nearly a century ago can mean the difference between pocket change and a life-changing discovery. And that's what makes coin collecting so endlessly fascinating.